Now let us try to understand the structure of DNA that was given by Watson and Crick. So, Watson and Crick model of DNA. What did he say? He said that the DNA is actually a double-stranded, DS we write it, double-stranded polymer. So this polymer is actually made up of nucleotides. The polymer is made up of nucleotide. Here nucleotide means there is a pentose sugar plus a nitrogenous base and a phosphate group. Now if you remove the phosphate group, the part that is left, that is pentose sugar and the nitrogenous base, that is known as nucleoside. So here I am mentioning here nucleoside. What is nucleoside? Is pentose sugar plus your nitrogenous base. The polymer is made up of nucleotide. Now what else did he say? The two chains, that is the two strands of this DNA are running anti-parallel. Two strands are anti-parallel. This also I had explained to you in class 11 that when we draw, if I have to draw a nucleotide or the polymer DNA, how did we draw it? We had drawn it somewhat like this. This was the phosphate, this was the nitrogenous base, and the second nucleotide joins through the third carbon. That is the third carbon, there is a hydroxyl group. So another phosphate will join here and this is going to form the chain. That is the chain, and ultimately a chain of nucleotides will be formed. This is the way. Now if we see here, this portion there is an OH which is free and this is the third carbon. The third carbon OH is free. Now if I have to represent it as a line, and here the topmost nucleotide, the phosphate group is attached to the 6th carbon atom through the arm, and the 6th carbon atom also has this is also free. So P5. So this is the 5th carbon which is also free. So we can represent it as 5 is free on this end and the third carbon is free on the other end. Similarly, if I have to draw the other strand, it will be just this way. This is the first, second, third. Okay. And here will be the. So what did we get? We are getting here the P. The P's are attached here, and the which carbon is free here? It is again the third carbon is free here, and the fifth carbon is free here. So if you represent it here, the 5th position is free and the 3rd position is free. This is known as anti-parallel structure. This we had discussed in class 11. If you have any doubt, you can refer to those notes. And the nitrogenous bases which are present here, a purine. So this will also have a nitrogenous base here, and another one over here, and the other one over here. The nitrogenous bases, according to base pair rule, a purine, or a Chargas rule, a purine binds with a pyrimidine, just like we had discussed here. So what happens? The 4th point, if we have to discuss this, that is purines binds, a purine bind with a pyrimidine. And A and T there is 2 hydrogen bond, C and G there are 3 hydrogen bond. Now let us try to understand this structure. How is this helix? Now the 2 strands are in the form of helix. the form of helix. So this is a helix or a coil. Now if we have to turn them, that is, the structure will look somewhat like this. There are two strands which are running parallel to each other and they are never crossing each other. This also we have to remember. So what is happening? The two strands are coming in this way and they are never crossing each other. So this is the structure of the double helix. So if this is the 3 prime, so this side it will be 5 prime. Here if it is 5, so the other one will be 5 and this is the 3 prime. So this is the structure of anti-parallel. It is forming a helix, means it is twisting around but it is never crossing. Two strands are running parallel to each other. They are turning just like a coil but they are never crossing each other. Now if we see the diameter is given as 20 angstrom. The diameter of this helix, is 20 angstrom. Now what is the diameter? If we draw a line through here, so this is going to give us an idea. Anything which is turning, coiling, so it is making circles, isn't it? So a circle will definitely have a diameter. That diameter I am talking about, and if we measure that, it is around 20 angstrom. Clear? Now what is the each turn? As I told you in class 11, when we are taking turns, we will come exactly on the point we had started. So one turn is actually, when we are one turn, what will be the distance of one turn? It has been calculated that it is around 34 angstrom. That is from the point that you have started, and you start taking a coil. A point will come where it will be exactly, you will be above that point. Now in this part, in this diagram, where is that point? Suppose this is one point, and when this is going to turn again, you will get another set. So this is the another turn that we are going to get. So this is the second turn. Now I have mentioned that these things, if you see, there is a groove. This is called a shallow groove and this is called a deep groove. This is the shallow groove and this is the deep groove. So one turn is actually the distance. It is the distance between two shallow grooves or two deep grooves. I am repeating, what is one turn or the distance? It is the distance between two shallow grooves or the distance between the two deep grooves. Now that has been measured to be 34 angstrom, and in between one complete turn, there are 10 base pairs. So I am writing here the 8th point, that is, each turn contains 10 base pairs. So what will be the distance between each turn? If the entire turn is 34, the length of the entire turn is 34 angstrom, and each of them there are 10 base pairs, then one base pair will be, the distance between the two base pairs will be 3.4 angstrom. One base pair to the other will be 3.4 angstrom. So what did we study? A DNA is a polymer of nucleotide. It is made up of nucleotide. What is a nucleotide? A phosphate sugar, nitrogen and pentose sugar, nitrogen and phosphate. The two strands are anti-parallel. Why we are calling them anti-parallel? Because if in one of the strands 3' is where the 3' is free, in the other strand the 5' is free. The purines and pyrimidines are bonding with each other, and this bonding is generally either double hydrogen bond or triple hydrogen bond. The distance between these two, that is the two strands you can say, is 20 angstrom. That means they more or less, though it is double hydrogen bond or triple hydrogen bond, the distance is nearly same always. So this distance is 20 angstrom and each coil is of 34 angstrom and each coil consists of 10 base pairs, and so the distance between each base pair is 3.4 angstrom.